Awesome. All right. So I guess first off, if you don't mind just sharing a little bit about the Marketing Alchemist, like what you do, how you came up with that name, that concept. I was reading a little bit on your website, but I'd love to hear it from straight from the horse's mouth.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no problem. Well, the Marketing Alchemist is really, I like the word alchemy because it's all about taking something of less perceived value, right? Something that's not super valuable at the time. And then through a process of, extreme heat or transformation, you turn that into something of high value. So something that's worth a lot of money in our, in our culture. So that's why I like the word alchemy, and it just sounds kind of cool, and I can get that whole magic flow thing going on.
No, totally.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your business, like what you do day to day, who you're working with, and what you try to offer them.
Yeah. Right now, the main project I'm working on, I have a business partner on the East Coast, Chuck Peterson, and we've created the Yoga Business University. So the mission behind that is to become the definitive source of yoga business education. And the main vision for that is to improve professionalism and the standards in the industry so we can take yoga to a new level, right? Because we really believe that learning business is what's going to help us get there. I mean, because the better we get at business, yeah, right? I'm sure you believe that too.
Yeah.
Is that a mutual mission?
Yes, I think it is.
Right. The better we get at business, the more people we can help, and we can have the type of abundance in our own lives that we deserve to have for doing this life-changing work. So that's kind of the vision behind what we're up to.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Very cool. I saw on your website that you originally had a cleaning business.
Yeah.
How did that transform from, I mean, they just seem different to me, going from like that kind of service to working with yoga professionals.
Yeah, it is a little different. I'll give you the rundown. Okay. So I started out a broke surfer bum living on Maui. And I had no money. I lived in a half of a garage. So it wasn't even a full garage. It was, garage split in half. It's like a one-car garage. And, living the dream. I was hanging out, surfing on the beach every day and having a really good time. But eventually I ran out of money. And I said, man, I got to do something. I got to change my life here. And it actually got to this low point where I was picking up quarters on the ground to go to McDonald's to get the dollar menu. And I had no gas in my car. I had to skateboard to McDonald's. So it was really a mess. And I asked some really successful people how they got that way and how they were able to surf all the time and have big houses and, live an abundant life. And they said, you have to become an entrepreneur. So I said, okay, well, how am I going to do that? So I started fixing surfboards, but then I was working for other broke surf bums.
Yeah.
We're going to McDonald's too. Yeah, so it didn't work out very well. It wasn't very profitable. That's when I started learning about strategy, and seeing if your business is actually something that will work. So I quickly abandoned that. My friend and I started a window cleaning business.
Okay.
So yeah, we just went down to Home Depot and got squeegees and buckets and ladders and started knocking on doors and asking for work. Started the cleaning business, and after a while grew it to a pretty successful size. We had 3 cars and 6 employees and all this stuff going on, which is cool. But then I like to say a tragedy struck. I was lifting a pressure washer out of a car, and I had this back injury.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, so I lifted this thing, I twisted it and just heard a crunch and my back went out, and it just totally sidelined me from my life pretty much. I couldn't surf, I couldn't ride my bike, I couldn't do anything. So I had this business that was super successful and I was making all this money, but I couldn't do what I wanted to do. Right? Like if you've ever had an injury like that, it sucks.
Yeah, it's debilitating.
Yeah, it's debilitating. So I kind of set out on a mission to figure it out. After 2 years, it still hurt. And it just wasn't getting better. And I tried everything. I went to doctors. I got x-rays. Chiropractors, physical therapists, you name it. And finally, yoga was the only thing that helped me feel better. Right?
It's a common story. I hear from lots of people that yoga is what heals them after, seeking out doctors and everything. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was amazing because that injury actually ended up being, I'm so thankful for it.
Yeah, in retrospect, of course, yeah.
Yeah, because you know how it is when you start practicing and doing the physical asana, you change on all levels.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, so I started getting into nutrition. I didn't go to McDonald's anymore. I started going to Subway. No, just kidding. So anyway, yeah, I got really into health and everything and totally changed my life. I lost 30 pounds. It totally changed my life, and I'm so thankful to the practice. And I kind of woke up out of this slumber, I guess, and got really clear and got into spirituality, and I just felt unfulfilled in my current business.
Oh, okay.
But I was obsessed with business and marketing. I mean, it was like my yoga. It's where I went to practice, right?
Yeah.
To go and work on myself and figure out what I had to do to improve myself. So I started helping other people with their businesses because they saw the success I was having, and they said, hey, can you help me with that? And then I met my partner, Allison, who's a yoga teacher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I said, man, where do I find one of these hot yoga teachers? So anyways, I met her, and she's amazing, and she's just so devoted, such a devoted teacher and practitioner. But she didn't have the business systems behind her yoga business.
Oh, okay.
So I said, hey, why don't we just take some of these marketing skills and these business sales skills and apply those to your yoga business? Yeah. And at first she was like, ugh.
Stay away.
That's nasty. I don't want to do that, right? It's manipulative. And I'm like, no, it's cool. You're just helping more people. Right? You're creating a foundation so you can serve people.
Yeah, it's all about service, totally.
Right. Yeah, you know what's up. So we started doing this, and she started having this amazing success. Her classes filled up. She started doing these private packages, got her website, and she says now that it just helped her to feel empowered. Right? That she had the ability to go out there and create something that really helps people and to take care of her own needs too. Mm-hmm. Right? So if we're going to serve others, we got to serve ourselves too.
Yeah, there's no other way you can do it. I mean, otherwise you're just completely overextended, and eventually you'll have to abandon it because it's not supporting you. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so then I started helping more yoga teachers, and I finally just said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Yeah.
Very cool. It's such an underserved market, I feel like. There's all these fabulous professionals out there who spend so much money on trainings and so many hours perfecting their craft, and then they make no money because they don't know they can enjoy the business end of it. Right.
Yeah, and I like exactly what you said. Enjoy it.
Yeah, because it's fun. It's fun when you get into it, and similar to you, I had some fellow yoga teachers start approaching me because I had been doing freelance work for a long time, and they're like, how do you get this going? It's interesting. You kind of know you found the right thing when other people see it in you before you see it in yourself. And it sounds like you had a similar path in that regard.
Yeah, maybe even kind of resisted a little bit.
Yeah. Like, I don't mind helping you on the side, but that's not a viable business option, and then...
Yeah, like I couldn't make money at that.
Yeah, it sounds like too much fun.
Right, yeah. I know, when I tell people what I do, I'm always just kind of blown away myself. I'm like, wow, yeah, I really do that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Crazy.
That's totally awesome. So, obviously you serve a niche market. How important do you think having a niche is to business success, whether you're a yoga teacher or otherwise?